So in the garage, you know, we had those big, long yellow gloves. Okay, they're the type of gloves that you would be using if you had to use this.
Okay.
But okay, this is a caustic product. Okay, does anybody know what caustic does? It eats. It eats into products. So if this was a dirty stovetop and I've sprayed an oven cleaner on top of there, it's going to eat into the grease, but, and I say but, it's going to eat into the metal too. Okay, so caustic products, okay, do not ever use on top of any other surface other than inside of an oven. Okay. Inside of an oven, the actual product in there enables that, yeah, you can use this type of product in there. But on top of here, this one's stainless steel, that one's enamel, so it's total different, so don't use that. If I use this product to clean on the outside of here, or even to clean on the range hood filters, it eats into it and it gives it like a white. Have you ever got to a house that you've lived in before and it's got that white stuff which is around that? That's because people have used product like this to clean. Okay, so you don't use that. This product here, okay, it's a degreaser. It's a filter clean. If, as I was talking before, that this is really dirty, I'm going to have something to degrease. Okay, so dishwashing liquid, if it's not bad, yes, it's going to take it off, but it's not going to take it off quickly enough. So this product here, filter clean, best used with boiling water. Okay, so if we go to a property and there's nothing here in the property, how are we going to get boiling water? In the
you need to get a kettle by ourselves.
Yeah, good answer. So in the bathtub is normally, and that's where we're going to put all of this stuff today. Okay, we're going to pull it all apart, degrease it, and pop it into the bathtub and see how it works. But to get the best effect is a kettle or a jug or whatever name you like to call. So you can get one from Kmart for like $10, $12 or something, so get one of those and pop it in your kit. Sometimes you'll go to a property and you've got electricity, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go to a property and you've got hot water, and sometimes you don't. We don't have any control over that. Now, if you got to a property and there was no electricity and no hot water, what should you do?
Look for the meter board, if it's still not there.
Yeah, the meter box there and it's switched on, it's still not happening.
Knock the neighbor's door.
Knock on the neighbour's door. Yeah, that's what I do. I go with a bucket, go with $5 and say, excuse me, can I grab a bucket of hot water, please? Most people are happy to give it to you. If they're not home, then you're going to have a little bit extra time to be able to clean. And again, that's where you should be making that phone call to the office. Okay, so if we're cleaning on top of here, I want to pop some of the filter clean into a bucket and with some hot water. We're going to actually do that. Can you grab that bucket there for me behind you?
The green one?
Yep, green one's perfect. Okay, now this is not a very deep, like, you know, really heavily greased, but I'm still going to use the product here just to get some of that grease off there. Okay, so I don't have to use the actual jug to boil the water. If it was really greasy, then yeah, I'd use the jug here. Okay. Just take the wee little bit. Okay. So if I've got, who uses oil to cook at home?
Everyone.
Yeah? Yeah. Well, okay, should I ask the question, who doesn't use oil to cook on top of the stovetop? No, so all of us do, yeah? Have you ever been to a house where there is grease from here all the way to the ceiling? Yeah, you've been to those houses? And how long does it take you to get that grease off? A long time. So this is where the filter clean comes in handy, okay, for you to be able to clean that off. So what I want you to do is watch this here. So can everybody see the grease that's back there? Yeah. Cool. Now, this is a smooth surface, so what am I going to do?
Wash, dry and polish.
Wash, dry and polish. Excellent. So I wash, then I'm going to dry. Now, can somebody pass me the blue polish cloth there, please? Okay. Can everybody see the difference of this cloth compared to the other ones?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So the smooth side is for polishing. The other side if you needed to get a little bit of stuff off. Okay? This is best used when it is dry. Okay? When it's wet, it works, but not as effective. So whenever you get these in your kit, keep them dry. Don't use these cloths as a general cleaning cloth. Okay? So I went to a job the other day and I was like, but we're all going to learn. Now, did it take me a long time to actually clean that? Okay. Can you see the difference between that spot and the other spot
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
where it's been cleaned? Can you see that on the camera?
Yes. Maybe where's the light? Yep.
This
Can you
is
see
the
the-
clean surface and this is the uncleaned one.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So to get the grease off, it was very quick and easy, wasn't it? It didn't take me a huge amount of time. Now, if I wanted to then also clean on my stovetop, I can do that there with the same product. Okay? So again, the same thing. I would be drying. Now, what's a good product to polish stainless steel with? If I wanted to make that shine, what's the best product that we've got here that's going to do that for us? The Amaze.
nice.
Yep, okay. So let's have a look behind you. Yep, the whole thing would be lovely.
This.
Yeah, okay. So before you know that I wet that, and you've got the Amaze on the top. So even if I wanted to clean that and it wasn't dirty per se, it just needed a little bit of a clean, the Amaze on the sponge is a really good product to actually help clean it off. Okay? Now, at the back there it's got like a little bit of a build-up, so I can flip it around to the other side with the green sponge and give it a bit of a scour. Now, can you see how that went there? It was rather minute. Okay. So then I've got my cloth that I'm just going to wipe it off with. Now make sure when you're using the Amaze that you fully wipe it off. Okay? Otherwise you're going to end up with like a white paste. Okay? And when you think you've done a sensational job, and the next day somebody comes there and they just see this smear, yeah, it's not the best look. Okay. Now, did I use a lot of Amaze on that surface?
No.
I didn't need to use a lot, did I? Okay. So this sponge I can keep on using until the Amaze has actually totally come off it.
Okay.
Okay. So I've wet, I've dried, and now I'm definitely going to polish. Now, I didn't polish the other side. Okay, can you see the difference between both sides?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, they've both been cleaned, haven't they? Yeah, I cleaned it and I dried it, but the difference is that in the polish, in the finish that we are giving, we're giving that so it can shine. Cool. Yep. Now, let's have a look up and under the range hood filter with the camera, please. Okay. When we're taking the range hood filters apart, okay, each property you go to will have a different type of range hood, okay? And the way that you take it apart is the way that you put it back together. And I think I was explaining this the other day. So this one has got like some little things I'm just going to take down. So before I've moved any further, what I do is I pop it back up in the same way that I took it out. See, even then I was having a little bit of difficulty, yeah, and then it's done. That way I remember exactly how I took it apart. Because the worst thing is you get into a property, you're in a rush, you've taken it all apart, and then you're trying to put it back together, and you're like going, what do I do here? Okay, so if I'm starting to clean kitchen from the very beginning. Okay, so I take off that, I take off the stove top. Now I also take off the knobs, because generally you'll find, see the stuff that sits in underneath the knobs? Okay, now opening up the oven. I'm going to take off the knobs off the front of the oven. Now there should be a light there. There we go. Now, if somebody's moved out and they've left a tray like that here, is that for the next person or is it the person before?
Before.
Yeah. Are we 100% sure? We're not.
No.
Okay. So I would clean and degrease that tray and put it back in there, just in case the owner of the property provided that for them. Okay. So I'm going to pop that over there for me. So we've got the oven racks. Now this rack is not really very dirty, but how am I going to get that off? What's the best product? The filter clean? Yep. Okay. So before, what I was discussing, when I take down the actual filters, take all of these things off, take the stop, yep, and I take all the trays out. I'm going to put into the bathtub. I put the water in first, then I put in some of the filter clean, I dissolve it, and then I put everything in. Now, filter clean, if I'm putting any of these actual filters in there, the maximum time, like the very maximum is 10 minutes. Okay? The reason for that being is the product will start to send this black.
Okay.
These are stainless steel. They're hardy, not a problem. They can stay in there for however long it takes for them to degrease.
Okay.
Okay? But the filter cleans, no. 10 minutes maximum.
Okay.
Once you've actually taken the product out of the filter, the stuff out of the filter clean, you rinse it, dry it and put back. Now, how am I going to get that stain off there? With the steel. Stainless steel? Yep. Cool. So the stainless steel scourer, after I've put it into the filter clean, takes care of the degreases all the grease, etc. And then I'm going to use it. I'm going to rinse it off and then I'm going to dry it. If I rinse it off and then put it back in there, I'm going to end up finding that I'll have like a little white marks and stuff all over that. So it definitely has to be dried. Okay. Now, another thing for taking apart the oven. Remember how I was talking to you before when we were taking apart the range hood filters? I put them back up in there just to make sure. I do exactly the same thing with the trays and all the sidearms, etc. Okay, so these side racks, these ones, every one that you go to will be different. Okay, sometimes they've got like little screws and they screw into a plate. Sometimes they've got a back plate that sits here. Sometimes the actual, I don't know what you would call them, the rods would stick to holes up there. Sometimes they stick to holes there. Okay. Now, if you guys were working together and then you took apart the oven and then you went to put it back together, you wouldn't know how to put it back together, would you? Yeah? Okay, so if you've taken apart, you put it back together, okay?
Yes.
Alright, so this one here, all that did was I lifted that up and I was able to put it back in. So, because I've taken that one side out, I'm going to put that back in immediately. And yep, okay, I know now how that I've done it. If I've done it that way, I'll remember then for when I go to put it back, because I've already put it back and that memory's already in my brain. Does that make sense? Yep.
Yes.
Yep, cool. Now sometimes they can be a little tough. There we go. Okay, now when I'm cleaning inside of the oven itself, so can I just give those two and pop up behind you? Now we've got the actual oven glass. Okay, what is the best product to clean inside the oven? Alright, so we've got the oven spray. Okay, now this is not a very dirty oven. So why do I need to use the chemical?
Try to use the wet cloth.
Okay.
Or
Alright,
a
so
lace.
let's have a go. We've got a wet cloth and a dry cloth, so we've got nothing on it. Has that cleaned it?
Not
Can you still
wet.
see the brown stuff that's on there?
No.
Yeah, you can still see the brown stuff. We want to be able to get the brown stuff off, correct? Okay, so you are correct, the maize.
Okay.
Okay. If this was really dirty, okay, and I had to use the spray, I'm going to use my gloves up to here.
Okay.
I'm going to use something to cover my face, something to protect my eyes. Then I'm going to close that. I'd make sure that I've got some sort of ventilation, the exhaust fan to suck up all the fumes, etc., because I don't want to be able to breathe that in.
Yes.
Then maybe I'd go work in another area for 15-20 minutes or something before I came back. Okay, but this is not dirty, and a lot of the ovens that you get to won't be dirty, so you don't need to use the spray. Okay, so we've got our amaze, our sponge over there.
Yes.
Thank you. So again, so all we've done is wet our sponge, popped it inside the amaze. Now, is that going to be enough, just popping the amaze like that, to be able to get it clean?
Not
No.
really.
No.
No.
You need something a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah? Use the other side? Okay. So you can see it's taking it off. Yeah?
Yes.
Is it taking it off quick enough? Not really, is it? Okay. So can you pass me the stainless steel scourer that's over there? Beautiful. Okay. Now, I can use this inside of here on top of glass only if I have wet it first and put the amaze on top of it. If I haven't, I'm going to scratch it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, can you see how much quicker that got off?
Yes, absolutely right.
Yeah. Much quicker, wasn't
Yes.
it? Okay. Now, what about inside here? So we've done the glass. What about inside? Exactly the same process. Okay. With
Amaze.
popping the amaze. Yep. Now, can you see how it's brought up all of those little bubble things?
Yes.
Yeah. And you can see on the sponge how it's actually collected some of the stuff on the sponge already. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we can use our scourer. Now, that's going to take a little bit of time to be able to fully clean inside of there, isn't it? Okay. What else could I do? Any idea?
Oh.
Yeah. To clean the filter.
Okay, so
After that.
another idea is the filter clean. Yep. Okay. But we've also got a window scraper with the blade.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the blade, again the same thing. Anytime that I've got the blade, I need to make sure that it's wet inside and I've got the amaze, and it can just scrape the stuff off and takes it off really, really quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so they're the two implements that you need to be able to use. Now, I've cleaned my glass, I've cleaned inside of here, I've cleaned here, and I've cleaned there. I've cleaned all around the surrounds. One of the things that a lot of cleaners forget is to clean down in here.
Inside.
Okay, now, is it really easy for me to get my fingers down in there?
Not.
It's
really.
not the easiest thing.
Yes.
Okay, if I had a very tiny spot there that I need to be able to get down, I grab a screwdriver and I put like the screwdriver underneath the cloth, and then use that along, and it'll end up being able to clean in there fairly effectively. Cool. Okay. So if I've wet anything, I need to then dry it. Can you see the difference in there now?
Yes.
Yeah. So it didn't take much, did it? So how long do you think that would actually take me to clean inside of an oven?
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. If it's a really filthy one, probably 25, 30 minutes. Yeah? Okay. Again, if it's really, very bad, you would use the oven cleaner. Okay? Yeah? But if it's not that bad, then, you know, there's no need to use that, okay? Alright, so outside of the oven, we've also got to remember that we've got to clean the external glass. Okay? External glass and the external surrounds. So the amaze takes it off fairly quickly.
Yes.
Yep. Now,